All right, Jordan, you don't even get to speak before you get to walk into
I got to try one right off the bat.
the classic. I always give, if you're a first timer at Burning Questions, I always give you the option of the crowd to come forward and join you and I in eating these sauces. The only person who does is Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos right here,
Okay.
who can eat the last dab sauce with anything in any quantity. So if you ever need a bailout, just like call Juan.
Signal.
Yeah, right here. So the classic, just by way of our Hot Ones sauces here, and we talked a little bit before about Scoville. We've got 1,800 Scoville. If we choose to make it all the way up, we'll go up to 2.7 million Scoville. So we'll see.
What's this one at right here?
18,000.
18,000?
Yeah.
Easy work.
This
right?
is a guy who told me. This is a guy who said they at the academy would grow peppers in the yard, and then they would have contests on Christmas Day and feel miserable after.
Yep.
Because they would eat it. So go ahead, take a bite into it, and then I'll jump into our first question for you. If you're a first timer to Burning Questions, know that we're pretty casual. For some reason, you're all scared and sitting in the furthest rows back, but feel free to chime in, double down on a question. We love having good conversation and open conversation.
I'm reformed. You guys can come up front. It's okay. You're safe.
Right off the bat, right? So Jordan, tell us, a little bit. We'll get into the what, why, how of the academy, but maybe just tell us life pre the academy for you. What did it look like? Give us the story.
Sure. So I was a meth addict, right? That was the drug of choice for me.
Okay.
I got into that when I was about 16 years old. Got exposed to that. Grew up in a good family. Had a single mom that struggled to take care of me and my brother and my sister, but was raised right,
Sure.
So I was a rebellious kid. I think, kind of on the margins, because one of the few divorced families in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Raised LDS, the predominant religion around here, and so back then,
Some people might be familiar with that.
It was a little bit different.
Can we say in the Stranger Things era?
Yes, absolutely.
allowed
I
to
love
say
that show
Okay.
because it takes me back.
Okay.
So 16 years old, found drugs. Drugs filled a hole for me, right?
Yeah.
Like especially meth. It made me feel great. It made me not have to focus on the things that I wasn't doing right, where I was falling short, different stuff like that, because I just felt great. Pedal to the floor. Needle was buried, right? And so that became a coping mechanism for me. That became a way of life for me. And as I pursued down that path, the partying became my primary function. And then responsible influences started to slip away in my life. When you hit your early 20s,
Freedom.
everybody parties, everybody plays around a little bit at some aspect in their life, right? But there's a point where you start to converge and go different ways.
Yeah.
And at that point, I kept partying. And so the responsible influences in my life left because they moved on with better things. And I started to surround myself with the people I bought drugs from and that I used drugs from. And then I started mimicking and emulating their behaviors, right? So that led to burglaries and crime, violence, and then being introduced to the criminal justice system in my early 20s, and that got its hooks in me, and you get stuck in that cycle for quite a few years. So
Yeah.
11 years I spent in and out of jail, in and out of prison, until 2015 I was arrested for the last time, and on a roll of the dice from a prosecutor and judge who thought I wouldn't make it, they gave me the chance to come to the Other Side Academy, and luckily I made it through. So
In that moment, how do you get to decide? Is it like the prosecutor basically like, here's your two paths, like I can do this, and then you're kind of like up to you, or are they kind of like, hey, I'm gonna choose to almost enroll this guy and give him a chance?
it can be that way for some people.
Okay.
For me, I have a lengthy criminal record. It had been in and out for years. So they were done with me. They wanted to wash their hands. So I think there had to be some divine intervention on my behalf for a little bit to get me to where I was. I'm not a very religious guy or anything, but there was something that got me where I needed to be. But that is an option sometimes for some guys that maybe don't have as big of a record as me. There's hey, let's get you the help you need before it gets any worse, right?
Before you start pushing you back into the system.
Yep.
Wow. Can you take another bite? Is that okay?
Yeah, where are we at here? What's our rating on this one?
So
the first one was delicious.
Because the first one was so good. We went straight to, so number 2 is Little Dick's. This one's Gospel Pepper Pear. Everyone chuckles at Little Dick's, okay? It's just the names.
Well, they are funny.
I just read the names, people. Which one?
Gospel right after that.
Oh, I said Gospel and Dick together? Okay, well, have you heard the joke about what? No, I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say about the Richard long ago and why. Anyway, no, this is not. It's PG-13 here, right? It's PG-13, right? Okay. Tell us a little bit about getting into the academy, right? So like, and you guys should see some stuff on the screen here that tells you a little bit about the details of how it works, but it's, 2.5 minimum year commitment. Like, tell us what that looked like for you getting into the academy, because it's not an overnight success. It's not like you take this departure, this detour, and the next thing you know, you're
fixed.
You're general manager of the Other Side Builders.
Nope. So, and the reason behind that, the reason why the academy is 2 years long and why we ask that commitment of somebody is because if you're like me, you spent decades of your life building who you were. It's going to take some time to unwind that, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's why our minimum commitment is 2 years. Now, 40% of our guys that reach that 2-year commitment will decide to stay longer. I did. Mm-hmm. 40% of the guys do. So sometimes 3 years, 4 years. So that tells you something about the change that it's enacting in somebody, right?
Yeah.
You go there to beat a prison sentence.
Yeah.
You go there to get out of the jam you got yourself in. And then you realize, wow, this is even better than expected. I like who I'm becoming. It's opening doors for me inside of myself and relationships and networks that I never thought would be a possibility. I think I want to keep doing this for a little bit longer, right?
What are the principles that drive that? Because to your point, it's like, and we'll mention, it's not a drug rehab, right? It's a vocational, social enterprise training, life school, as you will. So like, how does that, spending 2 years and then deciding to spend more time, or 4, did you say 4 that you did?
4 years, yep.
Like, what principles are driving that?
So you've got the difference between us and a conventional rehab is you're going to come and you're going to work in one of these industries, right? So number one, you got skin in the game. So it doesn't cost the students anything to come and participate in this, right? So right out the door, you're not paying for anything. And on top of that, when I was a criminal, when I was in and out of jail, when I was in and out of prison, when I was in and out of rehabs, who was paying for that? For me.
The state.
The state, yeah. Right? So you were.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, thank you.
You know?
I mean, not thank you, but yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So taxpayers aren't picking up the bill at the Other Side Academy either, right? So our businesses generate the revenue, which allow us to keep our doors open to create this opportunity for people. So our businesses are staffed by the students. So not only are they got skin in the game because they're paying their way, right? They dug their hole to get themselves in the situation they were in, but now they're going to help get themselves out by paying for it with their own work, hard effort.
Yeah,
right?
sweat of their brow. Yeah.
But the cool part about that is you're going to be working, full-time working, doing all that. Well, you're going to expose who you are through your work, right? Through your day-to-day activities, what you do. Some other rehab programs, right? You might take time off of work to go sit in there and kind of step away from life. The stresses are alleviated a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to look at trying to figure out what causes are and different things like that. Whereas we want to know who you are and address your behaviors in the present moment. We want to expose them by seeing how do you behave with your coworkers. Not only do you work with these guys all day, but you're going to be living with them. And you're going to be expected to hold each other to a high level of accountability. And so that's kind of the secret of the sauce, right?
Yeah.
Is that you're seeing behavior patterns in real time, in the moment, and being called out on it so you can correct it right there in the moment, rather than it being, 6 years ago this happened to me and now I'm experiencing something right now from it. It's right here, right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's the method there.
Yeah.
Accountability is a huge piece. Personal accountability, as well as what we call 200% accountability. So
yeah, tell me more.
So 200% accountability means not only am I responsible for my choices and my behaviors, but I'm responsible for yours as well, right? Because we're spinning around on this ball of mud we call planet Earth, right? And we're a team. We're all a team. So if you're doing something that's dangerous to you, dangerous to me, maybe against the goals I know you have set for yourself, and vice versa.
Yeah.
If I don't speak up and tell you, hey, you're falling short in this area, I'm just as guilty of that act as you are, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need you one day to help me fix who I am or support me in some way or the other. So if I'm not pushing you to be the best version of yourself you can be, I'm in essence killing the thing that's going to save me. And so trying to get that mindset into our students and get them to look at life that way, that's really the secret in the sauce of
And I imagine that's what takes time, right?
does.
I mean, it's like,
it does.
I mean, especially when you're in a cycle where, in some ways, your life is being dictated to you because the system and then the drug and the addictions is pulling you into something. Now you have the freedom, but then it's like the accountability comes with the freedom of, well, like, who are you? What are you going to do? What are you going to be?
Well, and we have no locked doors at the academy. It's not like a controlled facility. There's not security guards. You could leave anytime you want. So this really is an investment in yourself. You know, this is an investment of, look, I want to do something different with myself. Trust me, there was plenty of times where I was faced with hard truths about myself, uncomfortable situations, embarrassing moments that I wanted to bolt. But I knew what was waiting on the other side of that door. Not only my prison sentence that I had over my head, but the old me and the old life that I'd always had. So the academy works in that aspect that if you want to be here and you want what we've got and you want to accomplish what we've done, then you're going to have to do what we did.
Okay, we got another question for you about,
Sure.
and I want to dive a little more into the enterprise of the Other Side Builders.
Okay.
This one is, I already forgot, Dawson's Hot Sauce. We're up to 52,000, so we've 4x'd our ability. You guys are all sitting there with your Buffalo, like mild. It's not even Buffalo. It's like ketchup. It's like, you guys, nobody steps up here. All right, we're going up to Dawson's. So tell us, you're the general manager. You're leading the Other Side Builders. Like, what is that? What's the scope of that program? What does it involve? I mean, tell us anything you want about it. But like, I'm curious, like, how many students are involved? What type of projects do you guys do? Like, budgets? I don't know. Anything that is
Sure.
like fascinating about that whole program.
Well, and not just the builders. Let me talk about all of the social enterprises that the academy has. So we have a moving company, the Other Side Movers. Some of you guys, as I was talking,
let's take a poll of people as he says them if you have used it.
are familiar with the Other Side Movers.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I recommend you do because it's a 5-star.
Yeah, it is.
The #1 rated moving company in the state of Utah, and we've held that title for, I think, 9 years now.
This baller.
So one of the hardest working moving companies you'll ever see. So we do over 300 moves a month, our moving company, right? And our guys, if you haven't ever used them, it's quite the experience because they're going to be running to and from the truck nonstop, right? They're going to be completely accountable for everything that happens on that move. How many of you guys have used a moving company before? Things get broken, dinged up. Do the movers come forward and say, hey, yeah, we did that? Not usually. Yes. Our guys do that, right? And we take care of
Total
business.
accountability.
So we're teaching
200.
them how to run a business like that. So we also have our thrift boutiques.
Oh, Gonzalo.
We got a couple hands up.
He's been there. Who else has been in the thrift boutique? Okay.
So the thrift boutiques are like the department store of thrift boutiques, right? They're not your typical thrift store where you walk in, kind of smells grungy and dirty and everything's disheveled and you're digging through piles. So a retail outlet, right?
Yeah.
Of learning retail skills. So that's one of our other social enterprises.
Okay.
Then my baby, the Other Side Builders, we do residential and commercial remodels.
Okay.
And we started that 6 years ago when we realized we were outsourcing a lot of the needs for the academy to general contractors and other things. And I would work as a liaison between the academy and those contractors. And I kind of pieced it together. I said, hey, I think we could do a better job at this. And I think we could do it more efficiently. And not only do that, but generate revenue as another social enterprise. And so we started that about 6 years ago. So those are our 3 main social enterprises, right?
Yeah.
They generate close to $10 million a year between the 3 of them. Right?
Wow.
So the space that we're in for the builders is commercial remodels. We're doing retail spaces. We're doing multifamily units, residential.
And you're just going out and doing the bids like any other business.
We do. Yep.
That's fascinating.
Yep, we do. And we, customer service for us is a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
Because contractors these days, how many of you guys have hired a contractor, they took your deposit and they disappeared and you never saw them again, right?
Yeah.
Story I hear all the time. Not the case with us. You know, we're transparent, we're straightforward. Most of our customers are repeat customers. They try us once because they like the mission. They like the idea of, hey, let's help these guys do something. And then they come back because they want to.
They're like, whoa, craftsmanship, customer service.
Exactly.
Genuine, just good people to be around.
And so that piece keeps, driving our businesses forward. Same with our moving company, same with our thrift boutiques. And then we also have tons of ancillary jobs within the academy that are to help keep the organization running all the time, right? So you'll either end up in one of our social enterprises or you'll end up working in one of those jobs. But essentially the academy is a self-sufficient community within the community to help men and women get their lives together.
Fascinating.
And it's not costing them a thing, not costing the taxpayers a thing.
Yeah, $50,000 on average is what it cost. I don't know if I put that statistic on there, but that the state would typically pay for somebody who's in the position they're in, right?
Yeah, I think we've saved the state of Utah close to over $20 million in incarceration fees since we've been open.
And I will say, as you bite into the real deal here.
The real deal.
Yeah, I think it's the real deal. That's what it said here. So far? I mean, it's Neil's real deal. Let's see what he's not even sweating over here. Can you see this? Like, there's no beads.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's getting there. It's getting there.
This one actually tasted good. This one was 70,000. But it's good. I don't know. Maybe I just.
Yeah, that last one that we had before.
No, even this one. I just tasted that one because I messed up on the last one. Okay. How dare you? Who invited you? Just kidding. Keep coming.
That's accountability.
200%. I'm not going to live this down. Hey, we did this one to start the year for a reason. That one's good, right?
That one is good, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even going to let you guys have that one because then you'll like. Okay. Tell us, maybe then feel free to get as personal or impersonal as you want. But like in your experience, like why is addiction what it is? Why is it the epidemic, the challenge in our community that it is right now, and growing in some scenarios? So
my personal opinion, and what I've come to realize as I put my own life back together, right? So I've been clean and sober now for 10 years.
Phenomenal.
So as many years as
Thank you.
As many years as I spent in and out of prison, I've now spent, living a
on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. A productive, meaningful life on the other side. And so, did you dump too much on yours?
Yeah, this is legit one.
Let's match it up.
We're like,
let's go. I'll walk the path.
Sorry.
With you. Whoa!
Yeah. I'm going too slow, so this one's going up.
I think the addiction piece. So we focus on behaviors at the academy, right? We don't talk about drug addiction. When you come to the academy, we'll ask you not to talk about drugs because we don't care what you used, how you used it, how many things you did. What we care about is your behaviors, right? So you sober up somebody who's a drug addict and they're a liar, a manipulator, a cheat. Well, you've got a sober liar, manipulator, and a cheat.
Still the same.
Yeah, so we focus on the behaviors. And in focusing on the behaviors, if you can teach somebody who's not accountable to be accountable. You can teach somebody who's lazy to be hardworking. You can teach somebody who is manipulative to be trustworthy, right? You teach those things, the drug addiction problem starts to disappear by itself. But it's a big piece because as you teach somebody those things, there's a lot of embarrassment.
Yeah.
There's shame sometimes. There's guilt. There's different things that they have to work through, right? Yeah. Those pieces that put up walls and would drive you to continue to use. I personally think the epidemic we're experiencing in America is based off the fact that we've told ourselves, I shouldn't feel a particular way, right? I should never be depressed. I should never be anxious. I should never be embarrassed, right? This is kind of like the mindset that we have, and there's a pill for everything. There's an escape for everything. There's sort of this still. So it's, by and large, we've told ourselves, I should never feel those negative emotions. Freedom for me, I got at the academy was I learned to start embracing those negative emotions. Why am I anxious? Oh, well, I've been lying to everybody that I know. Why am I depressed? I keep not showing up. I keep breaking every commitment that I make, right? Well, let's fix some of those behaviors and see if the depression, the anxiety, those different things start to disappear. And then I don't have to chase a substance to give me that counterfeit feeling, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a part of things because we've created new therapies, we've created new medications, we've created all kinds of stuff across the board, right? Like in the last 30 years of my life, and is the problem getting better or is it getting worse?
Yeah.
So more substances, more pills, more different things maybe aren't the solution, right? It has to come down to, hey, what are you doing on a personal accountability level that's creating some of these things in your life. And that's not to say there's not people that have deep clinical depression or anxiety, that there's a chemical that needs to be adjusted there, right? But I personally think that there's a lot of it that it's just us avoiding taking control of our own lives and seeking that easy escape.
Do you want to level up?
Let me try this one first. I haven't got
No,
to
this is leveling up. Yeah, you guys ready for this one?
What are we at? What's our number on this?
This one's 820,000 Scoville. What did
you just quadrupled?
Quadrupled. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, something like doubled. It's okay. Arbol scorpion. Let's just give the description so you can kind of savor it while I talk about it. California's fresco sauce is cranking up the heat. Trinidad Moruga scorpion peppers can reach upward of 1 million Scoville units. Combined with earthly arbol chilies, they make this sauce a scorcher.
Yeah, that one's starting to kick in a little bit.
That one, you feel it? Okay.
Yeah, they always got that particular where you can feel it in your brain. It's not even like a taste; it's a fume.
Yes. Well, we were talking earlier about how, and if anyone wants to join us in the Da Bomb sauce, you're welcome to. But the fact that it's not so much of that it burns and it hurts in the beginning, as it is slowly moving through your whole body. That's revolting at the fact that you put that into you. Juan Carlos, I always have to call him out because I don't know what he did to himself as a child, but he has built the stamina of, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. So
that's how they put him in timeout.
Oh yeah, probably. Growing up, timeout. Yes.
That's funny.
Put a little dab.
My mom used to put Tabasco sauce on our tongue if we said a bad word. Oh. Flash forward, I don't know. I'm in my 20s. There it is. We're going out to.
Usually doesn't eat this one.
We're eating at an IHOP or something, and I'm dousing everything with Tabasco sauce. And she goes, "I didn't realize you enjoyed Tabasco sauce so much." And I said, "Well, you turned me on to it."
I learned to. I usually don't eat that one, to be honest. That one was pretty spicy. Okay.
I'm gonna crack open the milk.
We got.
Usually it takes one time for your mom to put Tabasco sauce on your tongue to discourage behavior.
Yep. I did. I was just saying dirty words to get the Tabasco sauce. Spice it up a little bit.
This is where they say you can't parent every child the same. I mean, right?
2 rows of Tabasco. There.
Okay. I'd love to hear if, again, maybe some advice of we've got people in here. They're human. That's what I love the most about walking into the other side was, and I wish I remembered his name. Maybe Kathleen remembers, but anyway, just super warm, welcoming.
Chris? Was it Chris?
Shorter guy.
Oh no, he met Joseph Grenny, and he met
Well,
Nicholas.
I met Joseph, but then no, there was I went to the others. Anyway, long story short, the academy. It was so welcoming, so awesome, so many good people coming in and out. But we got people here that are, like you said, just like the same people that are in the academy, where they're hiding from their feelings, and I'm going to say we, because I'm on that side, right, of trying to overcome personal challenges. And I know we've had bits of this, but any words of advice when we all sit down for 2026 and we think what do I want to try and do? How do I overcome whatever is the next thing that's in front of us? This is hot.
It is hot.
Right now.
Yeah, no, this is
You
hot.
get milk. You drink a little milk.
I can't. Milk does other things.
Be a combination.
I have a bad combo in my body, but it's not about me. I don't know. Yeah. We've all been in dark places, but when you think about a place, it's what's the advice? I don't know.
The biggest advice I'd have is a few things. So you are the sum total of the people you spend your time with, right?
Okay.
So look around the people, your 5 closest peers that you spend your time with, whether that be your wife, your husband, your coworkers, your best bud, whoever, right? Who are you bouncing your ideas off of? And are they telling you the truth when they talk to you? Right? Because some of us seek truth, and that's what I had to do. And some of us seek cosigners, right? We call them cosigners at the academy, meaning that
Interesting.
they'll sign off on
Whatever it is that you're doing.
Whatever it is you're doing.
Enablement in some ways.
And sometimes that becomes an addiction for us. We seek out those types of people that are going to reinforce for us whatever it is we think we want to hear, right? And I know that was a big part of my drug addiction and being a drug dealer, was because as long as I had that sack of dope in my pocket, I instantly had a group of people that told me what I wanted to hear and did what I want to do. So that's one principle that I would say.
Okay.
Is look at your circle of influence, and are they truthful with you, and are you truthful with them, right? Because that's the mirror you're going to be generating your choices off of. Another thing that I would say is mastering your stories, right? So we all tell ourselves stories. We get feelings, we get emotions, and being able to stop and say to myself, how much of this is reality and how much of this is my story? And starting to unwind what kind of like false beliefs you have about situations and how you react to certain things. And embracing embarrassment. That was a hard thing for me. I'm still a cocky guy, but I was a cocky, arrogant guy that had nothing to be cocky or arrogant about, right? And I would run from embarrassment. If there was anything that I felt like took the shine off my apple or did anything like that, I would run from it. Today, I embrace it. I embrace embarrassment. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of us is we get embarrassed and we tell ourselves, ooh, I got to change how I feel right now. Use that embarrassment as a signal. Hey, something needs to change in this moment. Why am I embarrassed about this? What is embarrassing about this to me? Because usually in there's some kind of truth you're not living in. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So those are some of the takeaways I would have for some people.
Are you ready to go to the other side of the bomb?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's only 8 out of 10, although, like I mentioned, the other 2 are trash and they don't really do anything to you. My tongue is still burning from that last
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is the one I really don't usually do, okay? But I'm going to do it because this is the new year, and then the rest of the year I can say I already did it. So I'm going to do it with Jordan. Go ahead, take a bite of this terrible sauce.
This is the
bomb. It's a million.
1.8 million?
No, it's not even the 1 point. Like, it's not even, the last dab, which is this one, is the 2.7 million, but the bomb is really, it's technically only 150,000, but it feels like a million. I don't know I don't know why it says it's only 150,000, but.
Take a little dab?
You want to get a little dab? Yeah, step on up. Yeah, let's go. When you say a little dab, like how big?
Well, I mean, whatever you gave Jordan.
All right. I love
He's
it.
still speaking great. So.
There you go.
Oh, gosh.
I like the flavor of that one.
Really?
I did, yeah.
You want more?
I'll take another dab.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You like this?
The one that we had before that.
Yeah, the one before was.
I didn't care for the taste of it.
Arbol Scorpion. It doesn't really have a taste. I don't think the bomb has no taste. I don't know. Our friend back here is going to tell us too. But there was a couple questions submitted from the crowd, but we have a few minutes as well. But I'll get to one more, and then if anybody else has a question, I think actually we kind of answered my last question here. So, is there any questions from the crowd that you guys want to throw at our friend?
I do. I want
Karina, and then
very quickly, how did you go from being the student to where you're at right now? Like, what was that transition like?
So I spent 4 years at the academy as a student working on things I needed to change for myself, right? For me, I was a sneaky guy. I was manipulative. That one is, I shouldn't have taken that second bite.
I'm always happy when people are honest with me. And this, but again, it's not good.
You're down the end of a dark tunnel right now. Hold on, let me focus in. So, 4 years. While you're in the academy, you're gaining responsibilities. My mouth feels like it's swelling shut right now.
It just smells like.
Goddamn Spanish, bro.
Woo! So, you're gaining responsibilities, right? You're learning job skills. You're learning management. You're mentoring new students as they come in. And that is hot.
You're sweating now.
Yeah, that second bite was a bad decision.
Yeah, I put a lot on his second bite.
So, as you succeed in those things, as you're succeeding at managing, you're failing and learning new skills, you're doing those things, the opportunity comes for leadership in the house, right? So I had been a leader in our house for the last year or so of my stay. And at that point, I was offered a job at the academy to try and launch the venture of the other side builders and also work as a staff member. So I've worked there for 6 years now doing that. So all of our staff, all of our employees have to have gone through the process of the Other Side Academy. So we hire from within. We don't usually, Kathy's a rare situation. She's our development director, but the majority of our staff, the majority of all of our positions have been grown from within the company. Does that make sense? So.
And is it a 2.5 year program, but you stayed longer?
Yep.
If you chose to? Okay.
And that's the cool thing is, because we don't take federal or state funding, we're not bound by a funding model, right? So you have X amount of time to fix your life, whether you do or not, oh well, you got to leave. So because we generate our own revenue, we can leave the doors open for students. We have some guys that have stayed 5 years, 6 years, because they like who they're becoming and the changes they're experiencing, right? So you go to another program for 30, 60, or 90 days, you're really just scratching the surface of who you are, what the problems are in your life, those different things, and then it's time to leave again. Go back out, fall on your face, come back and do it again. Our goal is stay as long as you need to so you can close the door on this chapter of your life and start a new one. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Brian, you okay, buddy?
No, I'm not.
I'm going through it right now,
No-
trying to have a conversation.
No more questions. No more questions.
Good. I have two
We're
questions.
feeling like a.
Have you seen the show Breaking Bad?
B? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Any observations on the show?
Well, I mean, I love that show. Who didn't, right? Who, even if you're not a ex-drug addict or anything. Such a great show about, what greed and self-deception will do to a person, right? You go into something thinking, hey, I just need to do this to do this, and you start getting a taste of people telling what you want to hear and, being in powerful positions, and then all of a sudden you're not even a sliver of the man you used to be, right? Are you still eating? Are you eating just a plain one to chill it out? You might want to think about the milk.
No, it does other
It'll
things.
kill ya.
Other problems.
So Jordan, around that, look, I'm more selfishly asking this because I've got 3 kids, 2 are teenagers, right? Good kids, but also they're in that phase of life.
They're little punks.
Well, yeah, so walk us through, how do you go from, I think when I was a kid, whippets in the grocery store, I don't know, just did that, but that was dumb things that you need.
They used to get mad at Arby's. I worked at an Arby's when I was 16, and they'd come in and all the whipped cream cans were empty because we'd suck all the air out of them.
How do you, I don't even, probably a good thing, if you said, go get me some meth right now, I couldn't even get it. I don't know where to go. How do you, as a young teenager, how did you come across meth? I'm just curious. So my own kids don't.
Well, you start, for me, I was rebellious, right? So it was a natural path. If you told me not to do something, I was going to start seeking it out. So I started off finding the kids that were drinking on the weekends, and we'd drink. And we always would tell ourselves, well, we'll never do this. And then next weekend we were doing that. And we'll never do this. We'll never do coke. We'll never do meth. We'll never do, and then it was only a matter of time, right? So you can find it out there. They can, and this day and age, they can probably order it off the internet, DoorDash it to them, I'm sure, is a thing. It wasn't the same back when I was growing up, so. But I think what you can do is be consistent as a parent. Your kids and the choices they're going to make are going to be their choices. And what you got to do is have boundaries, accountability, but also love and forgiveness, right? And they're always going to be your children. But you also have to draw lines in the sand and say, look, if you're going to be here in my life, if you're going to be a part of this, if I'm going to be paying for everything and I'm going to be doing these things, then this is what I expect from you. And when they violate those trusts, there has to be consequences. Or you do a long drawn out enabling, right, with your kids, and it's not helpful. So at the academy, we've learned to step away from relationships that are enabling to us, right? I have a great mom that stood by my side through years of prison, through every mistake I ever made. She'd make excuses for me, everything. The day that I stood up and said, Mom, I got to walk this path myself. I got to do the consequences that I have for myself, was the day things started to change, right? So you've got to be that parent that holds to the standards. What is that one?
I feel like you're not okay.
I'm not okay.
We're going further? We're going more?
Season 6, baby. Here we are.
For you was
Last dab.
It's like, you know, alcohol, I think most kids have probably tried to do that, and I did myself, high school.
Sure.
Marijuana is becoming more normal, which, whatever, that's okay, or not, whatever your view is on that, but is meth one of those drugs, like could my kid go, my son or daughter, just find that? With, like, I don't, what I know of, none of their friends are even doing that or talking about that, or they're not even drinking or weed yet. But
I mean,
just trying to like.
This is the Academy Awards where it's like, we love Ben, but we got to like transition to Sydney.
Let's talk after the thing. Okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know what.
Let's talk. We can talk a little bit more about like some of that warning sign stuff and things after the thing. But I think you can find it. You just got to have a good relationship with your kids, a genuine relationship where they can talk to you and you can talk to them, but they also know what your standards are and they know what it means if they violate your standards.
Sydney, and then there was a question over here.
Okay, I have a question. I know.
Oh, and before he answers the question, he's got to take the last dab, which is it's 2.7 million.
Wow.
So yeah.
You don't have to.
No, he doesn't. You have boundaries.
Let's answer the question. Let me do the question. Let me do the question first.
Okay, so I saw, like, on your slide, it says you had 6+ prior rehab attempts, and obviously, I'm curious, like, from the first question, you talked about how the difference with COSA is that you've had more time and you've had great resources. I have an uncle who's serving a second prison sentence right now as a result of alcoholism and just lifelong abuse toward him and to others. They're just like, we never would have seen him going down the prison path until this first began. So he went to rehab and came out a different man actually before his first prison sentence. I mean, he had changed, he appealed, he had done a lot because everything went down during the pandemic. So fast forward, he ended up serving 18 months and now he's in again for 18 months. And the question that we have is like, how do we best support him? I would love to be able to recommend like the Other Side Academy for him. I don't know if that's going to be a path that he would choose, using that would be the best, but what do you recommend for people who are trying to make that change and like rehab didn't work or it's not sustainable, or like do they go into a 2.5-year commitment like what you did, or is there like an in-between? Are there other programs they offer?
There's lots of programs out there in the world, right? The biggest thing is the person has to be ready to change their life, right? They have to be at that sincere point. When I came to the academy, I was at a sincere point where my life was so bad and I was looking at probably never seeing the light of day again, because you go to prison for that period of time for 10+ years at the age I was at, I'm never going to have a life after that, right? So for your uncle, you've got to ask him probably, what kind of reasoning are you trying to make with this, right? Because we always tell ourselves, if I just do this, if I only drink on the weekends, if I only drink at this time, if I only do whatever, I can figure out the right combination of things to make it work. And he's got to realize 2 prison terms now, like this is destroying you. Your reasoning is so messed up on this that thing is more important to you than your freedom, than your family. You know, those frank conversations like that, like, Uncle, I thought you said you loved me. I thought you said you loved your kids. I thought you said this isn't how a man treats his family if they love them. You're trading them for this, and you just have to call it bluntly what it is. And we've gotten away from that. I think societally is because we're afraid to offend people, or we might say something. No, if you love somebody, you tell them the truth. You know, and so he's got to get to that point where enough is enough for him. And then whatever place he goes will be the right place. Rehab didn't work for him before because he wasn't ready. Didn't work for me before because I wasn't ready. I still had reservations that I would hold on to. I could just do this, I could just do that, and that's the plainest thing I can say. If the Other Side Academy would be a fit for him, it would probably be one of the hardest things he's ever done, right? It was one of the hardest things I ever did, but that's what I was ready for. But there might be something that's a solution otherwise for him. But those are the things, the frank conversations you got to have, is you're holding on to reservations. Because if you loved us and this was enough for you and these were the things, then you would do this. But right?
Yep. Thank you. Over here.
Just quick, I've long loved Other Side Academy. I think I first read about it in the Crucial Conversations book, and it's awesome. So my question is this: what are and starting in San Francisco, we have have one here.
So you're referring to Delancey Street.
Delancey Street.
Yep. So
similar, right?
yeah, Delancey Street was the program we modeled ours after.
So
yes.
we're different than that. So I guess the question is, how big is it? Does it depend on other places? And then maybe more importantly is, what are the plans for growth for it? And how can we as a community support it? And all the clients, and that seems like maybe that is the right answer, but how can we support this kind of stuff happening more and more and more? Because I'm sure the waiting list is long.
Yeah, so honestly, we have grown over the years, over the 10 years that we haven't, and we've never been at a point where we were out of bed space for future participants, right? So somebody that's interested in coming to the academy, they can either walk in off the streets, take a seat on our bench, or request an interview if they were incarcerated, right? And we will come and see them. So the participant has to be the first one to reach out. So that piece is, we have an interview process. If they're not serious about wanting to do something different with their life, we may not accept them, right? And so one of the best ways you can help the academy is by spreading the word about what we do. Of course, letting people know, hey, our success rate. So we boast a 63% success rate for people that graduate our program, right? To remain crime-free, drug-free, and employed. Okay, do you know what the average is for most other programs?
Yes, it's much lower.
It's 5 to 8%.
Yeah.
And so that's a reality, right? Is letting people know, hey, this alternative is there. It's harder than those other programs, but it actually works, right? Using our social enterprises, using our businesses, our moving company, our thrift boutique, our construction services, and any of the other things that you see out there, that obviously is a financial support to help the academy. That's how we generate our revenue. We're launching, so for you guys, obviously you guys are involved in business. There's a lot of business stuff. We have a leadership institute that we have started, the Other Side Leadership Institute, right? That's the name of it. And so the Other Side Foundation is willing to come out and coach you guys in your business opportunities, right? Share with you, how do we create these accountability situations? How do we address these situations within our organization? And maybe that can help your organizations, right? I've been a part of a few different ones of those where we've gone out and done some coaching and tried to help create a format for businesses to integrate some of our policies and how we do things into theirs, right? Obviously, you guys aren't a bunch of ex-drug addicts and ex-convicts, so there's some tweaking, but we can create that system. So that's, I think, probably a huge piece for you guys that are in this room, right? Something like that would be beneficial to you. The academy, so we have over 180 people that have graduated the academy that are meeting that 63% success rate that I'm talking about. We currently have about 150 students living on site. When I got to the academy 10 years ago, there was 30 people there. So we've grown immensely. We have a campus in Denver that has about, I think they're at about 85 students right now. They're producing the same results that we're having. The Other Side Village is also another entity that's a part of the Other Side Foundation, right? A little bit different than the Other Side Academy, because the academy, we help able-bodied ex-convicts and drug addicts that maybe dealt with some homelessness and other things, but they're able-bodied and they don't have mental health diagnoses where they need to be on, prescribed meds. Yep. So we started the Other Side Village, which is meant to help with the homeless population that creates long-term housing for those that may have some mental health disabilities as well as physical disabilities that wouldn't qualify for the academy, right? So that's another organization that we're making huge headway on. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Other Side Village, right? The tiny home community in Poplar
Hope
Grove,
so.
right? So spreading the word, using our businesses. You guys are welcome at any time to come down and tour the facility. We set up a time. If you guys wanted to bring some of your colleagues or anything, we're always willing to share, open our doors. There's nothing that we're not willing to share with you guys. And if there's something that we can give you, also hiring our graduates. That's a huge benefit as well. So these guys spend 2 to 5 years turning their life around. They're some of the hardest working, most accountable, greatest workers you'll ever have. Most people that hire our graduates are calling back within a few months saying, hey, when are more guys coming, right? And so that's another thing that we, creating job opportunities for our graduates so that not only have they turned their life around, but they have affordable income, or not affordable, but good compensation for their life and can move forward and pick up some of the pieces.
I gotta finish. We do have some more questions, and Jordon has been super gracious with his time, showing up early. If he can stay a little longer, you're welcome to. I'd love for you guys to be able to come up and talk to him a little bit more, as well as Kathy right here seated to talk to her a little bit more. Thank you. I'm miserable. We genuinely appreciate these types of conversations. This was super meaningful. I hope you come back. Don't feel like you have to come up here and eat these wings every time. You're welcome to join us in the crowd. We do have a special gift for you. I also own a business called Plunge that is a sauna and cold plunge. It's phenomenal. It's a great relaxation. I want you to bring a group, come on us. We want you to come just enjoy a time, and you do wear clothes. So don't come. You don't come naked.
Awesome.
But let's give a round of applause to
That would be
Jordon.
embarrassing if I put it up.
Running from embarrassment. Do you mind taking a photo with me real
Sure,
quick?
absolutely.
Up front?